cover this second half with our discussion about this Immigration Act. They're trying to, again, drive a spike through the heart of America. And I want to encourage each of you to take all necessary action to help defeat this thing and make sure it never sees the light of day of passage. You know, Heritage Foundation put out a simple graphic, and I posted it up on our website and on americasvoicenow.org. You can go to either. And it is a series of 10 issues that are problematic with this Gang of 8 immigration bill. Now, I've already addressed this fact that, first of all, anytime you've got a gang of 8 who are dictating the rules to 315 million Americans, well, first of all, here's a couple of problems. One, all laws are supposed to begin, and all spending bills are supposed to begin in the House of Representatives, not in the Senate. So it's already a violation of the constitutional principle, because this is a spending bill, not just an immigration bill, number one. Number two, we have 100 senators, not 8. And I can tell you that the 8 who are in there clearly don't represent the vast majority of Americans in their thinking or in their geographic representation. In fact, 2 of them are from Arizona, Flake and McCain. Now, McCain is a flake, but that's a whole different topic. So we've got this gang of 8 who have put forth this betrayal document to deal with the immigration problem we've only been begging Congress to deal with for, 50 years. But here's the problems with it. One, and by the way, this is only 10, but it's the top 10. But you could fill a legal pad single-spaced with all of the problems with this bill. One, it grants amnesty. It grants amnesty to 11.5 million illegal immigrants, encouraging more law-breaking in the future. Now, frankly, that number 11.5 is about as conservative as you can get, because we've been hearing the number 11.5 for decades. Are you trying to tell me that no new ones have come in? I don't buy it. Are you trying to tell me that none of them who are here illegally are not having sex and delivering babies, new illegal babies? I don't buy it. The number is actually closer to 20 million. And based upon this document, they'll be able to bring in their immediate family members. So you can raise that number to probably closer to 50 million when it's all said and done. We will add 1/6 again to our population. So it doesn't just grant amnesty to 11 million. The real number, and like everything else from government, when they give you a price or they tell you how many people it's going to affect in a negative manner or in a manner, they always lower the number, right? Healthcare, it's only going to cost us $800 billion. It's now up to $3.5 trillion, and they haven't even begun to chip away at the tip of that iceberg yet. And this is just another lying boondoggle scam that's being shoved down Americans' throats. This is not 11 million people. I'm promising you that. No matter what you say, this number will be 3 to 5 times that number, just like every budget estimate they've ever given to you. They're estimating people now instead of dollars, but the outcome is going to be the same. 2, it triggers, the border security triggers authorize billions of dollars in spending, but with no guarantee of a secure border. How do I say that? Well, because a new amendment added to that basically says that Janet Napolitano can nix the border fence if she finds it to be an inappropriate use of resources. Now, not for nothing, but I wouldn't trust Janet Napolitano to walk my dog, much less babysit my kid. And I sure don't trust her to babysit our borders, because she's been in that position now for, I don't even know how many years, but for all the years that she has been sitting in that position, our borders have been wide open. And so if you use past performance as a judge of future result, you can't trust Janet Napolitano to protect us. In fact, if anything, Janet Napolitano is our enemy, not our friend. Look at what the DHS does to Americans every single day. Look at how the TSA treats us, as if we're subjects instead of citizens. Look at how all of the agencies that are under Janet Napolitano act. The CIA, the FBI, the NSA, the ATF, the TSA, the SEC. Bankers walk away after stealing literally billions. You get accused of an insider trading deal and you're going to get 10 years in jail. But they pay a fine, $1 billion, even though they stole $9 billion, which means they got an $8 billion net profit. I mean, look, you can't expect that this woman has the best interest of America at heart. I promise you she does not. She is a partisan, and she is working from the inside against this country for the destruction and the demise of America. 3, the cost to taxpayers. Trillions of dollars go to government services for those who get amnesty. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot afford one more dollar, much less trillions in new spending. We're tapped. We're broke. They've bled the stone dry. There's no money left. None. And surely none that we can give to a bunch of people who broke the law to get here and then act as if we owe them something upon their arrival. 4, spending. It worsens our entitlement spending and our debt crisis. You're darn tootin' it does, because every one of these people is going to qualify for entitlement spending, whether that be welfare or health care, whether that is food stamps, whatever. You see, we can't, and by the way, since 40 cents on every dollar is borrowed anyway, whatever it does cost us, and you can bet no matter what, it's 5 times their best estimate. Take their highest estimate and multiply that times 5. That will be the real cost. And that will be the real hard cost. Forget the unintended consequences of everything that they do. See, they're constantly chasing the dream, trying to chase after a fix for a problem they created based on unintended consequences of the last problem they solved for us. Bureaucracy expansion. More government offices, more task forces, more commissions. Point 5. People, we already have enough unconstitutional administrative agencies, 8 different organizations, groups, task forces, commissions, fusion centers. The last thing we need is more. We can't cope with that which we already have. And this will be the seed that will grow like kudzu and create literally thousands of new administrative offices, all run by bureaucrats who are unelected and unaccountable. Item 6 gives the DHS sweeping powers hidden in the 1,000-page bill. It is full of loopholes and it is full of ambiguity. What it will do is it will create all kinds of freedom-limiting capabilities on the American people. What it will do is empower the DHS and all of the agencies that are underneath that label and umbrella to have more and more and more Constitution and Bill of Rights stealing power. We already see that. You got the NSA out there monitoring everything you do. You got the IRS out there being used as an assault weapon against the American people and the enemies of the state. You've got the FBI out there finally admitting they're using drones to surveil Americans. Next thing we'll hear is that they're actually arming them. You see, here's the problem, people. Anytime you give a big government agency like the DHS power and authority, you can never rescind it. And that's how we've gotten here in the first place. Allowing government to grow out of control, allowing people who don't have our best interest at heart to have unimaginable power and authority, where they can utilize loopholes and ambiguity to do and manipulate us any way they so choose. There's 4 more points, and I'll get to them when we come back after this break. Then we'll open up our phone lines and let you folks have your say. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Battery Station in West Plains is your headquarters for getting and being prepared. Natural disasters, civil unrest, personal and family protection, long-term sustenance, and most importantly, peace of mind. Berkey bottles and home-sized water purification systems, survival food, MREs, freeze-dried food, survival knives, lanterns, ammunition, military sleep systems, and of course, batteries of all shapes and sizes. Take charge of your own survival and security. The Battery Station, 303 Washington in West Plains, 417-257-7799 or batterystation.com.
At Missouri State University West Plains, students are finding new beginnings and endless possibilities.
Hi, I am Bruce Cavett, and I am a graduate of Missouri State West Plains. Everyone from the counselors to the instructors has been encouraging and motivating. From day one, they take a personal interest in their students.
Call Missouri State West Plains today to find out how we can help you achieve your educational goals. Registration is going on now, 255-7255, or check us out on the web, wp.missouristate.edu.
The VA Refinance Program is a government-backed mortgage rate reduction loan for retired veterans and active duty service members who have already bought a home with a VA mortgage loan. The VA Streamline option is a fast, simple, and hassle-free way to refinance your current VA home loan and save money with low current rates, the lowest in decades. Whether you have a fixed or adjustable rate loan, now is the time to refinance and lower your interest rate or get additional cash out of your home. Want to know more? Call the Center for Sound Consumer Advice today at 1-800-593-6406. Get their free consumer protection guide, VA financing, everything there is to know. Free while they last to anyone that asks. But this opportunity won't last forever. Call 1-800-593-6406. And if you would like, the center can arrange a free consultation for you with an experienced, trustworthy mortgage professional to discuss your unique personal situation. Call now, 1-800-593-6406. That's 1-800-593-6406.
Make sure that you give Greg over at Black Ops School of Combat a call at 417-255-1612 if you want to attend that concealed carry course coming up this Saturday on the 29th. blackopsschoolofcombat.com or 255-1612. This is an important class for you to take. Also call him in reference to whether or not if you're missing either a revolver or an automatic, he can supply that for you. I also want you to talk to him about the other training programs he's got, and also the fact that if you can't make it on a full Saturday and dedicate 8 hours to it, he can have classes broken out where it's 2 classes during the course of a week, and you can have 4 hours in one and 4 hours in another. Make sure that you call him at 255-1612. That's 417-255-1612. And or you can go to blackopsschoolofcombat.com. SpringCreekBeef.com. Make sure that you go over there and get some all 100% natural grass-fed beef from Jane. SpringCreekBeef.com. Also, our friend Mary over at Chantilly's Artisan Bakery. Best darn bakery in 100 miles. You can find her at 2 Evans Arcade, right off the square in West Plains, and you can call her at 255-2253. Battery Station has that product that will help you to purge antidepressants and toxins out of your system. Get a hold of Kevin down there at 257-7799, and he carries literally hundreds of products that are geared and designed for self-sufficiency, self-reliance, self-defense, protection, bug out bags, all kinds of stuff. And not to mention, I don't know, he's got so many batteries under stock, I don't even know how many there are, but literally thousands. Ozark Mountain Self-Reliance. We just built their brand new website and kicked it off the other day. Please make sure that you visit it. It's ozarksurvivalgear.com. ozarksurvivalgear.com. And plan for tomorrow to go to Pizza Hut on Porter Wagoner because it's family night on Tuesdays and kids under 12 eat free. Ask for Bree. She'll be more than happy to take good care of you. All right. I want to talk about this issue of the final 7 points on this immigration bill. You know, they just added a new amendment that creates a jobs bill at a tune of $1.5 billion. And, you know, if we go back and we look at what happened during the last jobs bills we've passed, we know that they spend $6 million and generate one job out of it. You know, hundreds of thousands of dollars to create one low-paying job. We can't afford that, folks. I mean, this thing is just chock full of pork and grease and fat, and it is completely unacceptable. Point number 7. It's unfair. It's unfair to the 4 million people that have done the thing right and applied properly to come to the United States of America. Those are the people who have educations. Those are the people who have taken the time to do it right, who bring with them resources and knowledge and wisdom and are willing to assimilate into our global our fabric of our nation, our societal fabric. The people who come here illegally are line cutters. You don't reward line cutters by saying, well, not only can you retain your place in line, but here's free lunch and a free car and a free house and a monthly stipend. That's treason. It's treason to the 4 million people who have applied and are waiting to get here legally and do it the right way. Bullet 8. It disregards federalism. It hinders the states from meeting their local needs. How is that, you say? Well, because it forces the states into spending money on all of these extracurricular programs that have nothing to do with the people who live in the state and pay the taxation. So if the tax base is being used for a bunch of programs for a bunch of illegals who have been granted amnesty, then the money isn't really being used for the people who paid it in with the premise that it was going to come back to them in a benefit of some sort, regardless of what that is. I mean, if you're paying taxes because you expect government to do that, to be fiscally responsible with your money and do the right thing. And you're expecting that at the end of the day, that money is going to be used to benefit that state in some way, shape, or form. Well, this basically tosses federalism out the window and says the states have to do what the federal government tells them, which is a violation of the 10th Amendment. But in addition to that, it also usurps state monies to be applied to a federal program. And there's no necessity for that. It's inexcusable. The states are already broke. Adding more burden on their backs will only do one thing. It will raise your taxes and cost you more money and result in less benefit and less services and less wise and intelligent fiduciary commitment from the state that you live in. Item 9, special interests and earmarks. The pork projects are a boon for lawyers and scumbags like Harry Reid. Harry Reid got a crony kickback inserted into this for the casinos in Las Vegas. Do you believe that? Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and Senate Dean Heller from Nevada have inserted a provision that amounts to little more than a handout to Las Vegas casinos into the new repackaged immigration reform bill. This is a brazen example of crony capitalism, and it has absolutely nothing to do with immigration or law enforcement. Corporation for Travel Promotion. The Travel Promotion Act of 2009 is amended by striking a sentence and adding in another sentence that allows the Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to spend up to $100 million on promoting travel to Guess where? Las Vegas. You got to be kidding me. Harry Reid acts as if this is his personal wallet. I mean, who the hell is this guy? Up on our Facebook page, I got a link to this thing. It's on Breitbart. It actually has an image of Harry Reid on one of these gigantic screens in Vegas at the MGM Mirage. And it's got a picture of Harry Reid on it, and right next to it, it says, MGM Mirage would like to thank U.S. Senator Harry Reid. Well, who wouldn't if you got $100 million kicked into your coffers to allow government-sponsored and paid-for travel to your casino? I mean, people, this is out-and-out blatant usury and abuse. Abuse of his authority, abuse of his power, abuse of position. And this is ensconced in the immigration bill. You tell me what that has to do with immigration. Explain it to me. There's not, and the new jobs bill, $1.5 billion, will actually be used, and it's got to be spent, and it's a 2-year program. So here's what'll happen. They'll take this $1.5 billion, and they'll give it away to their cronies and their buddies, like, Acorn or some other group who will promise they'll go out there and create jobs. They'll manufacture 1 or 2, and we will have spent literally another $1.5 billion, which will probably, by the way, become permanently ensconced and become $1.5 billion annually, maybe grow to 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 billion. And this will be money that we will basically throw. You may as well throw it out the window doing 100 miles an hour, because in the last jobs bill we had, we saw how fruitless and how useless it was. Nobody got jobs. Those jobs that were created were temporary at best, and it cost us literally millions of dollars per job. Government doesn't create jobs. It can only foster an environment where jobs can be created. And this government has done everything but that. It has worked aggressively to destroy the job market. Obamacare is driving corporations, every corporation, to migrate their people from full-time work to part-time work, because nobody wants to get caught when the music stops being without a chair. Any company with 50 or more employees is rapidly cutting everybody back to the bare bones. So what you're going to have is a whole nation of people who've got to go out and get 2 part-time jobs to equate the 1 full-time job they used to have. And by the way, now they still don't get health care out of the deal. Oh, that's a great resolution. Thanks so much, Obama. Problem 10. It fails on opportunity. It absolutely does. It fosters a dependence on government. And ladies and gentlemen, if there is one thing we don't need anymore, it is dependence on government. I saw a thing last night on Hannity. I didn't catch the show, but they threw some statistics up. 10 million black Americans are on food stamps. People, the Democratic Party has been abusing and misusing their loyalty and enslaving them under a dependency mindset for so long they don't even see it. It's the same with the Hispanics. And by the way, Lindsey Graham out there, sitting there trying to defend this indefensible abuse of amnesty, actually had the nerve to say his strategy for getting the Hispanic vote is to pass this because Hispanics don't trust us. Let me tell you something, Lindsey Graham. Hispanics don't trust you because you're a liar and you're a traitor. You would cut your own mother's throat for a political or financial benefit for yourself and your party. And you are a disgrace to humanity. You can put all the lipstick on you want. But Lindsey Graham, you're still a pig. You and Harry Reid are 2 of a kind. And the both of you should wallow about in your own little sty. But do it someplace outside of Washington, because you 2 are actively destroying our nation. You're shameful examples of human beings. And the entire planet would be a whole lot better off if gravity lifted and you 2 floated off into space. I could think of a few you could take with you, too, like McCain and Flake and Schumer and a whole bunch of other scum out there. You're listening to America's Voice Now. Find us on the web at americasvoicenow.org, facebook.com/America's Voice Now.
We are the Ozarks' best news talk, KBMV